Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back on Inter Worldwide. We are here. We are ready. Blue settings. Thank you very much to the 34 people that have joined me already. Wow, 34 people. We moved up a little bit. We have definitely moved up a little bit. Let me just make sure everything's in motion and everything is visible. It's actually looking quite good in here. I think for the first time in my life, I paid attention to contrasting colors. Oh, man, that is really, really good. You know what's not good? You know what's not good? This massive ass pimple right here that also copped a mosquito bite underneath it. Imagine having a pimple here and a mosquito is hovering around your body. You know, not to put too many images in people's heads, but, you know, it's Australia, bro. Like, you think we sleep in clothes around here, man? Underwear, shorts, minimum for guys. It's bloody hot, bro. So you've got about 90% of my body to work with the mosquito. And the mosquito is like, oh, look, you see that crater? You see that crater pimple right next to his eyebrow? Let's pick 1 millimeter adjacent to that. So it basically looks like a reincarnation of his eyebrow piercing. Unbelievable stuff. Nice little sidetrack there. Once again, thanks to the 35 people. No, there should definitely be sound. Like, I was literally testing this and could hear it from the other room. There's definitely sound. I could hear myself in the other room. Sorry, Marvel, if you couldn't hear it, but run it back. Good to be here. Good to be here for another edition of We Talk Inter. I wanted to wait until this game finished for Juve this morning because obviously more context. And while I'm on school holidays, this is the best way to do it. So let's go to a few comments before we jump into the topics of conversation for today. And we have a nice, chilled, off-the-cuff chat. Remember to drop your comments in the stream. Drop your topics that you want us to talk about in terms of Inter. And yeah, that way we can discuss as much as possible with the time that I've got. I don't really have a time limit on today. I'm happy to keep going while the stream is working well. So maybe let's set a little bit of a limit. Sorry, not a limit, like a little bit of a goal. Can you set goals for streams? I thought Sharma showed me how to do shit. Like, I could have sworn Sharma showed me how to do shit. Sharma knows shit. But maybe that was for something else. I don't know. What's this here? No. Thanks for being patient with me. I really need to get more on top of this sort of stuff. But yeah, no, let's set ourselves a goal of always staying above 30 live viewers. So we've got 31 live viewers right now. As long as it's above 30, I'll stay on. I'll stay on for the day as long as possible. Ciao Rino, ciao Mattia, ciao Marvel, ciao Salem. From Tunisia. Oh, beautiful. And from Greece. At Pantgal 9471. So yeah, Yasus to you. I don't know how to say hello in Tunisian, but we can learn today. This is why I love communicating with people. Hello in Tunisian. To say hello in Tunisian and distinctly Tunisian dialect, the word is aslema. So yeah, aslema to you, Salim, my brother. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's get started. Let's get started with the Serie A table so that all in context with all right. So with this morning's very comprehensive result for Juve, definitely puts them supremely in the title race. And now their fans, just like every other group of fans, like I said, you can't run. But the thing about Juve fans is they try to run very, very quickly. They run very quickly from pretty much from the time that Allegri left again. They like to play down their expectations. Well, now you can't because you've got Luciano Spalletti, a coach that's won the Scudetto before, and you're only -4 from the top. I know that we've got a game in hand. I know that Napoli and Milan have a game in hand as well. But so what? Even if you're only -7 with 18 games to go, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Spalletti likes the Scudetto. He likes the Serie A. He doesn't give a shit about the Champions League. You think Spalletti thinks he's ever going to win the Champions League? Spalletti's an absolute loser in Europe. And so is Conte. And like they know. I firmly predict that Juve and Napoli drop out of the Champions League intentionally, man. Firmly predict it. What are they coming in the Champions League anyway? I think it's important to look at the Champions League table here as well, just to see where they're going to shift their expectations and see if they put all their eggs in a certain basket. We've got 2 games left in the Champions League. Obviously, if you're Juve, you can't finish in the bottom 24. And that won't happen now. They've got Benfica, I'm pretty sure, in the next game. We all know how much we love Benfica on this channel. Yeah, Juve at home to Benfica. I think they've had to play Benfica a lot in the last few years as well. But they should beat this Benfica. This Benfica under Mourinho. However, Mourinho will want to come to Turin and get something out of them for sure. And then they go away to Monaco, who aren't having the best year in France, I don't think. Yeah, 9th in Ligue 1, and they're absolutely shit. So Juve will probably roll them over. I expect Juve to pretty much get 6 out of 6. 6 out of 6 from here. They'll probably end up finishing above us in the Champions League because we've got Arsenal and Dortmund. It's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder. We're going to need to at least win one of those games to finish in the top 8. So I actually predict that all Inter, Juve, and Napoli actually all finish in between 9th and 24th in the Champions League. So all of us are going to have extra games. I don't think Inter's finishing in the top 8 at all, despite winning our first 4 games. We really, really bombed it hard. So yeah, I have absolutely no doubt that we are going to have extra fixtures in that February period of time with Juve and Napoli as well. So yeah, welcome to Inter's absolute nightmare last season. Welcome to our nightmare last season, Napoli and Juve, because those fixtures are going to seem like the biggest pain in the ass. How you going, Massimo? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you as per usual. Among the big 4, only Kivu didn't win as the coach in the league, but he's still first. I hope he'll hold on. Yeah, well, imagine if we just converted 1 or 2 of those games. I know I can't say that too often, but at the end of the day, that's all I can think about now, Marvel. That's all I can think about at the moment is a couple of more converted results, and we'd be sitting here looking very, very pretty. The reason why I've put these players on the thumbnail today is because I think that we're about to step into the period of time where teams are just going to need to step up. Teams are going to need to step up, and it's going to be heavily reliant on the leaders, the big boys of the side. And who are the big boys of our side? Well, they are players like Lautaro and Akanji, because whether we want to admit it or not, certain players have certain status and stature, and the way that you do that is by, cultivating a CV, a resume, a period of time of success or experience where others look at you and go, oh, he's got something that I don't. Well, Manuel Akanji has got something no other player in this team has got, unless Jan Sommer was a part of some Bayern side that won the Champions League. He could be, I don't even know. But yeah, if not, Manuel Akanji is the only Champions League winner in this side. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The lead boy. When I talk about players like Akanji who have just come in here, taken the. Yeah, I know he had a shit game the other day, but Champions League winner comes in, plays his first game against Juve and doesn't miss a minute since. That's a real big boy, not a fraudulent one. No, Akanji's a man. Barella and Bastoni are still boys, and they look like boys, and they always will be boys to me, because you won your Scudetto under Conte, which isn't yours. It's Conte's. The second star is everybody's. You could take one of those players out, and I'm sure we still would have won the league that year. I don't think it was tied down to one of those players individually. But, what are you going to say? This is me now. This is me looking at players like Barella and Bastoni and thinking, you're not leaders. You're not leaders. You need to be. We're trying to sit here and say that we've got a superior aspect in our Scudetto run, that we've got something about us that separates us from the rest. And it was something like we've got the Bastoni-Barella Italian combination, and we've got a Toro that knows how to get into form. But we're eluded of all of those things at the moment. None of those things are here. None of those things are here. Thank you for reminding everybody to like the video, Mattia. Massimo says, I hate that Barella and Bastoni have not proven themselves at all this season. I'd go as far to say that we're going into a season and a half of them in bad form. A whole season and a half. A whole season and a half. I think that we are really going to see a four teams fight for the Scudetto this season. Let's talk a little bit about the game against Napoli yesterday and a few concerns that we have. And then what I want to do is I want to move into talking about the game against Lecce and maybe doing some predictions for our game against Lecce, the Napoli game as well. It's all really about Serie A and domestic football moving forward in this stream. Muzza says, if only we could take McTominay's mentality and inject it into our players, that would be great. You need Conte for that, Matthias says, and big up to Sard's football corner, bro. Very big up, bro. It's good to see you, bro. I hope you've been very, very well out there, and congratulations to your boys and their success. I actually have a feeling we might be able to scrap a draw against you lot in the Champions League for one reason and one reason only. It's not because of form. You guys have got us on that. It's not because of personnel and players and coaching. You guys have got us on that. I think that you guys are very much narrowed into winning the Premier League at the moment. And because you've done very well and performed out of your skin in the Champions League and have 18 points, you ticking the total from 18 to 19 points will not seem like the end of the world. So in my opinion, we might be able to scrap a 0-0 or a 1-1 with Arsenal. And if that's the situation, I think both teams will walk away feeling pretty good about themselves. So I'm actually predicting we get 1 point against Arsenal. I predict we get 0 against Dortmund. Florence, another newbie to the channel, I think. Oh, love the Dutch. It's the Dutch, man. Varela should put fries in the bag. Just lackluster. With an overabundance of mayonnaise, yeah? Man, I love Dutch people. Bro, do not apologize. I love Dutch people more than I love Aussies, more than I love Italians, man. As soon as I pay off my mortgage, bro, which is hopefully not going to be that too far away, I'm looking my wife dead in the face and going, if we really don't need to earn bank, let's go and figure out our next move in the greatest country in the world, which is the Netherlands. Lautaro is a bum. He can only score against small teams. Seems like we've got a lot of new people contributing to this channel because now it's just an abundance of people agreeing with shit that I've said for the last couple of years. Massimo says, so jokes that Conte got that red card. It would have been a big joke if we continued that result. This is what I mean, Massimo. We had him on the ropes. Conte losing it like that, I thought for a second, it's the hope that kills you. There was a little bit of hope. Un poco. Some of it rose. It rose in me. It was like, he's losing it. They're losing it. They're fucking losing it. If we can hang on, but the opposite happened. How the fuck does his mentality leave the pitch but stay with them and get injected with McTominay and co? It was so impressive. What Napoli did was so impressive. So impressive. Conte was meant to leave the pitch. They were meant to collapse, and they continued on. Like I said, if you went into that game blind, didn't know who was first, didn't know the recent history, didn't know the players or anything, you would have come out of that game saying something like, bro, that Napoli team who Conte got sent off and they carried on, and with a point at San Siro, they'll be fighting for the Scudetto. What a gritty team. That Inter team, though, man, they had it. Can they keep it up? Oh, what do you mean they haven't beat a big team all year? Oh, man, scrap that. Scrap it. Sad, who's always been realistic, slept with a slash of pessimism. That's why I liked his channel when I saw it a year ago. This time last year, man. But yeah, I do think there's a better chance we scrap something from Arsenal than Dortmund. Oh, you're from Brazil. Sorry, bro. I didn't recognize. I thought you had a big Dutch flag with the orange triangle and Van Schuten in your name. You must have a Dutch connection in some way, man. There's no way that there's a three whammy connection right there. Flag, colors, and name. The last 8 Serie A games against Napoli, 0 goal. That can't be right. No, that's not right. Oh, Lautaro, you mean? Sad is for Lautaro. I was going to say, not for Inter. Yeah. For you, top 4, that's fine. But you have to sit there and say you're in a Scudetto race. If Juve fans sit there and go, oh, we're not in a title race, that's bullshit. Look at the table. Look at your coach. You're in it. Don't downplay expectations. We are still weak mentally from the final. We're never going to recover from that until we win a major trophy again. And the best chance to do it is this year. But but like I said, look at the way Conte and Napoli carried on in that game. They're going to win their next 3 or 4 on the bounce in Serie A, in my opinion. I think they come up against Juve in 3 weeks. 4th generation Dutch descendant, but 100% Brazilian. All right. Beautiful. Well, welcome, my friend. Stick around for as long as you possibly want. Yesterday's game against Napoli, it just would have been so good to close it out. So many players had an opportunity to step up and keep that result, but we didn't. And because of that, Napoli walked out of this with a point, feeling like it was 3. We walked out with a point, feeling like it was 0. We've got a conversation coming in about Zoma, which is one of the last topics that I would have touched on in this game anyway. So those of you that have been with me for a while know that when I started this channel, it was around about the time where a lot of my slander was coming towards Handanovic. Thank you and pardon me. Bro, they're doing it everywhere. It's not just him. Trust me. The reason I'm just letting it go, they're doing it on. They're doing it. This is a big reason I canceled social media as well, Mattia. We're just football fans in general. Like, I couldn't believe how many fans were just like. But the thing is, like, he's allowed to think that they'll come top four, which is the same way we think we won't win the league. What I'm saying is that he can't say that they're not in the race. So he's not saying anything wrong. Reno's just saying, like, yeah, all right, we're in the race, but we're not going to win it. But at the end of the day, exactly. If you're bigger than us, then set the same expectations or a little bit more. With Zoma, so like I said, when I started this, a lot of it was about Handanovic. And it just came from a place of not hatred for the guy. People thought I had an agenda against Handanovic. There's no agenda, man. When I see somebody turn a certain age and his prime ability relies on reaction time and agility, these things are dipping. And it's not necessarily a Handanovic thing. Is it not just a biology thing? Is it not just a biology thing? Like, why do we need to sit here and say things like, oh, you've got an agenda against Handanovic? Oh, you've got an agenda, like, respect our captain more. Oh, man, the amount of times we heard that. Respect our captain more. Or what? Or what? I remember the day he turned 36. And people were saying 36 isn't old for a goalkeeper. Well, you know what? It's not young for anybody. The only time 36 is young is if you're talking about your future and it doesn't consist of too much work. It doesn't consist of too much work. Because at the ripe age of 36, you should be in the peak of your everyday, day-to-day job, unless it requires you to be a physical athlete or a physical performer for a professional sport. Name me any sport, any physically performing task on the planet where a 36-year-old gets the nod over anybody. Anybody. 36. 36. And people couldn't understand that because of things like reaction time, like agility, it was over for Handanovic. Now, to that, I will ask the question, how old is Jan Sommer? If you don't know, go look it up. I'm not going to say how old he is. But you'll see a distinct similarity between my mentality towards Handanovic and Sommer. I'm not being overly vocal about Sommer because other people are, my friend. And because of that, honestly, man, reaction time, agility, not good enough. Not good enough. Also, keep in mind that when you win something at that age, you do take the handbrake off. So when we won the Scudetto and Handanovic was goalkeeper, oh man, he took the visor off even more for the next season where he sucked and we had a certain beef ragu make a certain mistake. So, and I wanted Handanovic out before that. I wanted him out before that. He was 36, I think, or 37 when we won the Scudetto. 37 when we won the Scudetto. So I was on his ass at 35, saying like, no, we need a new goalkeeper. Why can we not start having a conversation about getting a new first-team goalkeeper when they're 35? Like, I get it. Handanovic was good. And for a couple of years in our banter era, he was amazing. But so was David De Gea for Manchester United, all for a certain thing. You know, we were getting peppered. Handanovic was made to pull a full shift. When players like Manuel Neuer won goalkeeper of the year in those years, I would look at it and go, yeah, but was he the goalkeeper of the year? Because the guy could have ordered a full bratwurst with a side of potatoes and beer and done fuck all against Hoffenheim or against Werder Bremen or against anybody in Germany. How much work does Manuel Neuer need to actually put in? How much work does Victor Valdez actually need to put in? Versus a David De Gea in Manchester United's banter era where he was saving 13 shots on target. A half. The same with Handanovic, man. We highlighted his strengths and he was strong through so many years. For so many years, he was strong. But he's not Buffon, man. He's not a Peter Cech. You know, he's not one of those goalkeepers. He's not from that level. He wasn't from that cloth. And Jan Sommer, who I'm sure some of you have looked it up now, at the very similar slash older age than what Handanovic in that area. Long story short, massive ass roundabout. Yeah, bro. Jan Sommer is finished at top level and he is finished at Inter and he should not even be on the pitch for us now. He should not be here. There are 45 of you now on Inter Worldwide. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, share it around. And look, if you really do like and enjoy this channel, I will ask you to do me a small favor. Share it around on Twitter or retweet this or share it to someone you know that likes football, only because my personal Twitter was hacked a couple of days after New Year's Eve. And I made the decision to get off social media like Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of stuff on New Year's Eve. So when my personal Twitter got hacked and then suspended and Twitter made it a big pain in the ass and saying we might not renew it, we might not put it back in, I actually didn't consider it that big of a deal. I almost saw it as a sign from the universe, like bun my personal Twitter, bun my personal online profile. I don't really want to leave too much of a digital footprint moving into the future with my personal details attached to it. I think the world's moving a little bit funny. So yeah, it's all Inter Worldwide supremely from now on in. So just share this on Twitter under the Inter Worldwide account, from the Inter Worldwide account, or if you're not, just go and follow us there or subscribe to us here if you are new. I really appreciate the support. Speaking of support, ciao and buongiorno, buonasera to my friend Rosemary. And thank you very, very much for the donation. Big love heart to you as well. Thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, someone needs to go. And yeah, we're just going through the motions with that. Thoughts on Kiev giving the players a day off on the eve of the Lecce game? I didn't even know that, but that's interesting. We'll look at that soon. Match day 22 will be huge. Juve, Napoli, Roma, Milan, while we face Pisa. Ha! Juve wins 2-0. And that'll be like this. They'll win their other games before that as well. So that'll put them like almost equal on points with us at that point. Milan will beat Roma 2-0 and we will draw 1-1 to Pisa and it'll be disaster from there. The only thing that'll be smiling is my Bet365 accounts, man, because that's the only way that I'm getting through this period. And, you know, those of you who know me well know that I'm shameless when it comes to that. You think when Hakan scored that penalty yesterday, I was jumping around, hugging my dog, celebrating? Nah, bro. Itchy fingers. Watch those dollar signs stack up. Must be very, very attractive watching me drink what looks like dirty tap water. It's just a protein. My favorite Dutch Brazilian says we should have re-signed Onana when we had the chance. I know he was some sort of joke of Man United, but for Inter, he was world class. Hey, never say never, bro. He's probably shitting the bed at Trabzonspor as well. I haven't looked up his stats in a while. Andre Onana. Trabzonspor. He'll probably have to return to what's his face? Manchester United. How many games has he played for Trabzonspor? He's played about 13 games. Interesting stuff there. Yeah, but never say never. I think that there could be a chance that we might sign him back. Marotta's funny like that. Although it's 2026 now, remember, by this time next year, Marotta's meant to be only having about 6 months left on his contract. Ciao, Max. Come stay to you as well. Soma and Chala are finished. Oh, bro, Chala is finished, cuz. I'm still confident here. But how many times did I need to say on this channel to Chala off before these injuries became a concern, man? I'm over it. I'm so over this, bro. Yeah, I've got an exercise science degree. Bro, do you want to know how many 51s out of 100 I got in my degree? You know, I failed 3 out of my... I'm not even going to say how many it was. Because you know, I failed half of my subjects in my first year at university. Half. I had to redo them again because I just clearly overestimated my ability to go out until 4 o'clock in the morning and go to class at 8 o'clock in the morning. But that's all right. We were young. We were 18. We were 19. It is what it is. Long story short, I didn't need to get high distinctions, good marks in my exercise science degree to know very, very well that reoccurring muscular strains, aches, pulls, jams, slight tears, fatigues, when you hit your 30s and are performing physically, become an issue. In fact, I would say that as a human being, if they are recurring, they are an issue. Now, Hakan Çalhanoğlu is being asked to play for Inter with these reoccurring issues on a substantial millions of dollars per year. The red flags have gone off for me. You know what? I reckon if I search hard enough, there is a video or a live of me positively saying that he should go. This is during the second star season. That he should, maybe we should entertain the idea of cutting loose Hakan next season. And I'm probably saying it with a smile because we're going to win the second star. And at that point, we're on his, we're on Hakan's high horse. We're all on his kebab. And it's all about Hakan getting revenge over Milan. And we're a part of that. It's his vendetta. It's his vendetta. He was a part of that little series that we did on the channel. I forget what it was called. Oh yeah, FCK, Full Circle Karma. Hakan's Poetic Justice. But I knew, and a few others of you knew, this guy is a physical ticking time bomb. And now this season, I'm pretty sure we are going through the third Hakan injury wave by mid-January. We need another win back for Enrique and Sel Turam next year. Well said, bro. I don't do a lot of outgoing stuff on this channel. Like, I don't do a lot of Mercato shows on this channel. It's more so just putting info in. But I think I need to start doing some individual videos, proper videos about breaking down why we just need to cut ties with certain players and cash in. Because the thing about some of our players is that they are worth on paper just as much, if not more, than they are worth on the pitch. We've got a weird situation right now. Don't tell me Marcus Thuram is worth $1 over 50 million euros. In this market, we can probably get more, but he's not worth more. Lautaro is worth more on paper than he is on the pitch. Hakan is worth more on paper than he is on the pitch. Dumfries is worth just as much on the paper as he is on the pitch at the moment. We can still get cash for guys. I was going to say cash for C words. I was actually going to say cash for in a second. Then I thought, no, this ain't Aussie. This ain't Australian. It's not the pub. What else? Serie A favorites, 1 AC, 2 Napoli, 3 Inter, Rube. Those are facts. Yeah, I think I would agree with those. But Ella needs to have Hakan's role next year. 100% agree. 100% agree. Milan isn't the favorite. They are playing dog shit with 1 game a week. They still only have 1 game a week. Watch how much of an advantage that is when European fixtures go back. 46 people live at the moment. I have not stopped talking. I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. What else did we need to cover today? So yeah, let's talk about our fixtures coming up. Let's talk about our fixtures coming up, shall we? Lecce. Big one. Big one for Lecce. Just before we do that, you must head to kitsock.com. Plugging our awesome sponsor here. Honestly, the best replica kits and authentically bridging kits in the market. The feedback of mine stretches from friends to family to subscribers to colleagues. There is not a single person that has not gone through this outlet and has not been drastically impressed. To quote a family member, the best replica kits I have ever seen in my life. The material is exactly the same. Like, unless people decided to lie, unless about 35 to 40 people have lied to me in the space of about a month and a half. Here's another one. Also, I'm sending one out to Sun Tzu, who I completely forgot to send it out to over the Christmas New Year break. And as I looked in my pile of things to go to the post office, I'm like, is that an Inter kit there? I go, oh crap, I forgot to send that one out in the first week of Jan. But yeah, the one that I sent Mattia was very, very nice. And I gotta say, bro, they have gotten even better since then. Yeah, the one that I sent you, Mattia, I think I might have even mixed up the piles and sent you that from a different sponsor who was also very, very good. But I still don't know. There was one point in time I had about 8 third kits sitting next to me and I didn't know which one was from which outlet. But long story short, we're here to talk about Kitsock, who are just absolutely phenomenal. And because of that, they've got all sorts of new kits, retro kits, even a couple of custom ones as well. Player editions and jackets, windbreakers, anything that you could possibly want. Head over to kitsock.com. We have 5 easy games coming up if we are serious. That's a good way to start this off. So I know that some of our rival sides have some bogey fixtures coming up. Inter, on the other hand, we on paper do not have bogey fixtures in Serie A. Now, I will say one thing. As president of Pessimism FC, I will still say one thing. If I asked you guys, and Mattia, you can play this game with me as well if you're listening. If I asked you guys a few weeks back and said, all right, I am offering you 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. I am offering you 16 points out of 18 from Napoli, Bologna, Parma, Atalanta, Como, Genoa away. I'll repeat that. If I went up to you and said, yo, guys, in the next 6 games, we've got Como, an away trip to Genoa, an away trip to Atalanta, Bologna, an away trip to Parma, and Napoli, I offer you 16 points out of 18. And on top of that, I let you know today the dropped points were against Napoli. So when you look at our opponents that I've just listed on paper for you guys, I offer you 16 out of 18 points with the dropped points against Napoli for context. You'd take it faster than a kid takes their Christmas presents. Let's put that down. If I offered you 7 out of 9 from Bologna, Parma, Napoli. Once again, if I offered you 7 out of 9 from Bologna, Parma, Napoli, do you take it? Yes or no? In the chat. Come on, in the chat. Y or N? Y or N? Even if you're doing something important and you're at work, just get it out and put it. Come on. Engage a little bit. Yalla. Vamos. Y or N? Yes or no? If I offered you 7 points from Bologna, Parma, Napoli, do you take it or do you go, no, I need 9. We need 9. We need to beat Napoli at home. I know some people are thinking, this is a good question. Mattia might say no, but at the same time, I think he'd say yes. I think Mattia would say yes. And you know what? I think I would too. Once again, picture it like this. We're all sitting at a table, having a coffee or a tea. There is alcohol for me, obviously, because I'm Aussie. I need to have a beer with mine. And I offer everybody here 7 points out of the 9. Mattia is the one that doesn't take it. I like this game. Let's play one more game. Let's add one more round. Let's say it's Bologna, Parma, Napoli, Lecce. Last round, I promise. Let's say it's Bologna, Parma, Napoli, Lecce. And I offer you 10 out of 12. With the drop points against Napoli. Do you take it? Everybody. And Mattia as well. Everybody. So far for that, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yeses for the 9 points. Sorry, 6 yeses for the 7 points. No, 2 no's for the 9. And Rakiana will take it. Yeah, so I think Salim still wouldn't take 10 points out of 12. I don't know if you're talking shit, bro. I don't know what's in your coffee in Tunisia, mate, but I'll have a double of that, bro. Give me a double of that. I think I can say that almost everybody, if not everybody, would agree. You'd take 10 out of 12. You would take 10 out of 12. Because for context, in those last 4 match days, the following sides would have gotten the following out of 12. That's assuming that Napoli wins next week as well. Three, 4, 5, 8. Napoli would have got 8. We would have had 10. Let's assume that Juve also wins their next game. Juve would have 10 to our 10 with their dropped points to Lecce. A shit team. For further context, even though we don't see them as a main rival, this is fun. For further context, assuming that they win their next game against Torino, 3, 6, 9, Roma would have 9 in 12. And for further context, assuming that they win the next game against Como, which will be very, very tough, 3, 4, 5, 8. Milan would have had 8. So we would have outperformed every team bar Juve. We would have been equal with them. So I think everybody will agree that the 10 out of the 12, you'd take it prior to hearing the fixtures. But, you thought I was done. It's not about that, is it? See, hindsight is great. Hindsight is 20/20, as they say. Hindsight is fantastic. It's fantastic if you know everything. But we don't know everything, do we? We only know everything after it happens. And even then, you don't really know everything. So, yeah, the 12 out of 12 against Napoli would have changed everything. You'd think, wow. But it's good to hear that most people will do this, will take it. And that's really, really good. Thank you, everybody, for contributing there. We can't beat big teams, but the fact is most of the league is filled with bad and mediocre teams. And those are the teams you have to beat 100% to have a chance to win the Scudetto. For sure. For sure. But we still need to... We have opportunities against Milan and Juve now still left. You know, the Napoli war is over. We've played them twice this year. We got 1 point. They got 4. It is what it is. We are still +4 on Napoli. There's still no excuse for us not to outperform Napoli and Conte points-wise from now till the end of the season. We've got a chance head-to-head-wise to dent Milan and Juve again. I'm just not confident at all. How can you be? How can you be confident? There is 60 people on Inter Worldwide right now. 60. That is fantastic. 60 across all platforms. I don't even know where half of you are tuning in from at the moment, but I just see the big 6-0 on the top there. You win the league against smaller teams. Guys, I hear that. But at the same time, man, we got to win one of these bigger games to just assure ourselves, because you can also lose the league by only beating the smaller teams, yeah? No, people talk about beating the smaller teams like you're guaranteed to win the league. No, there is just a chance it can happen. You don't need to beat the bigger teams. But it sure helps, because there's no guarantee that you win at beating the smaller teams. Narrowing in. Lecce next. I reckon that'll be a good game. Kivu had some stuff to say about it. I'm just looking up this story now that you guys told me to look up. All right, so here we go. Inter manager Christian Kivu to give squad rest day after Napoli result. This is on Sky Sport. Inter Milan players granted rest period ahead of Lecce game by Christian Kivu. Christian Kivu waiting for an update on Hakan's fitness. Players have been given a rest day after preserving a 3-point lead at the top of the table. All right, fair enough. Whatever. Coach knows best. I'm not going to comment on anything like that. The Lecce game, I believe, is on Thursday for me. It's Tuesday now. Thursday, 6:45 in the morning. Let's just have a look at the next Serie A match day in general. Yeah, so it's a Thursday. They're gapped out, these matches. They're gapped out a little bit more. So match day 16, it's the... Okay, so this is just the replay round. I think it's you know what? I'm glad that they brought this match day around. I'm really, really glad they brought this match day around sooner rather than later, because I feel like this match day has been played later on throughout seasons, and it's really fucked us up. So if this is the missed Super Coppa fixture, my God, 15th of January, home against Lecce. You get 3 points there. Piss that and patch that off, man. 61 people with us right now. Like the video, subscribe if you are new, and share it around, man. Share it around and help us grow naturally and authentically. Do I miss having Suning as the owners? Well, I think everybody misses having Suning 2019, 2020 as the owners. Does anyone miss having Suning 2021 to 2024 as the owners? No. I sure as hell don't miss having Suning 2021 to 2024 as the owners. I mean, unless you want another Arnautovic, definitely not. Unless you just want free transfers with inflated wages, definitely not. My prediction for the ownership in the future is I really, really, really hope that the brand just keeps lowering its debt so that we can sell off to an owner with a footballing brain and a footballing mind rather than just a hedge fund. To their credit, Oaktree have not been awful at all. They came in with a job to do, and they're actually doing a really good job of what their job is to do. Their job and their goals do not align with what fans want to see in a football club, but that doesn't differ from the aspect and the fact that they are doing a good job at what they need to do. Hakan will definitely be out for Lecce, so hopefully Barella gets that spot right there. Our game against Lecce. Why am I even around Google looking at a predicted lineup? That was just the stupidest thing ever. Let's go and have a look. Inter versus Lecce predicted lineups. Napoli is definitely going to get the win over Parma as well on this particular match day. Pio and Boni starting would actually be pretty nice against Lecce. I'd be up for that. Bench, bro, can bench Bastoni, to be honest. Bench that bum. Bench that bum who said he was satisfied with a point after leading. He's an absolute bum. He's an absolute, man, I can't believe the fall from grace that Alessandro Bastoni is on, especially for me. Look, at the end of the day, man, Salantini rarely picks up points on the road with Lecce. Rarely picks up points on the road. I'll probably do a Lecce no thanks because the anti-jinx will be strong. But if we really, really think about it, the only player missing for us is Dumfries and Martinez, who has an ankle sprain. Lecce is missing Kamada, Morente, and Fruchu as well. Our likely lineup is looking to be Zoma, Bisek, Akanji, Bastoni, Enrique. It says Hakan, but they clearly don't know what they're talking about. Barella, Federico Di Marco, Zielinski, Lautaro, Thuram. See, I would like to see Boni. I would like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Thuram in this game or Lauti, one of them. You want to know why? Because they need fucking confidence, man. They need confidence big time. They need to stat pad themselves. And I hate saying it, but if they're stat padding their performances the way that they're going to stay on form or maintain any little bit of form, then just do it. Absolutely do it. They're also missing Banda and Gaspar, who were sent off against Parma. So their predicted 11 is Falcone, Vega, Siebert, Thiago Gabriel, Endaba, Kaba, Ramadani, Male, Pierotti, Stulic, and Dri. Guys, I'm just going to come out and say it, and I'm actually going to look in the camera as I say it. If we can't beat Lecce, if we drop points to Lecce in 2 days' time, just pack it up, pack it in. We are going nowhere near a league title because the whole aspect of, we can't beat big teams, but we beat all the small teams. Well, we're about to come up against one of the smallest teams. Lecce are shit. They need to get relegated this season. They are one of, if not the worst team in Serie A. They are currently 17th on the table. They have won 4 games out of 19 this season. 4. They have lost 10 times. They have a minus 14 goal difference. They are only 3 points above the relegation zone. They are not a better team than Fiorentina. The only teams that they are better than this season are probably Pisa and Verona. If we cannot beat Lecce, even with our rotators, even with our reserves, the season is over. It's over. It is over, Red Rover. Anyway, that was pretty much all that I wanted to talk about today. And we actually got through a fair bit in 50 minutes. We probably talked about a good 8 or 9 things there, didn't we? Didn't we? You know what? I'll do something fun. I can't show the website or I can't show the link because we'll get demoned. But watch these odds for Inter dropping points. 7-1. 7-1 for Lecce or draw on the double chance. Your $10 returns 70. Your 100 returns 700 just for Inter to drop points. So if you're a betting man, which I am, or if you like a little bit of an emotional hedge, sorry for any Muslims watching if this is haram, but at the end of the day, ask yourself this question. I have this 20 on me. Either one or two things can happen with this $20. I lose the $20, but I know for a fact Inter is going to win. It is a fact. That can't change. Or this $20 becomes $140. I shouldn't be encouraging this, should I? I sound like the devil. But it's not wrong. How do you think I cope with a lot of these bullshit 6:30, 5 o'clock in the morning games on a Monday when I need to go to work? If Inter's going to ruin my day, they might just have to pay the gas bill before the gas bill comes in the mail. I mean, you can agree, you can disagree. Maybe so I've heard some people say, that's kind of dog to do to your own team. I don't think it is. I actually don't think it is. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around on the stream today. Make sure to check out some of the other content on the channel. I'm now doing reactions and doing little bits on other Serie A sides and just talking about Serie A a little bit more in general. I will see you for a short later on tomorrow, and then I will see you for some sort. Nick's Knox, bro. Nick's Knox coming late into the stream and me leaving needs to be studied. I'm literally saying goodbye. Now, you know what? Fuck it. Are you staying? Are you staying? Let me know if you're staying. If you're staying, I go and get some water. I go and make myself a little bit of a thermo, like herbal mix before gym. And I come and talk to you for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, Nick's Knox. I talk to you, bro, because this is rubbish. You are one of my day one loyals and you just keep rolling in the last 60 seconds of every stream. Bro, it's not a Kevlar vest, but I thought that was so funny that you said that, man, because I did actually mention it to my wife. What was that? I invest plenty, bro. Trust me, I invest plenty as well. And an investment in Inter dropping points is never a bad investment. At least it hasn't been for me in the last 5 years. It's just a weighted vest, bro. So you can like take different like sandbags out of it and put it on. It's meant to help like, build muscle and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, once I bought it and it came, I was like, good. I really wanted one that looked like I was staying strapped and about to move like a war zone. And you were one of the people that came into my head. I go, there's a few people that are going to see this and go, why is Anthony strapped in the middle of the sunny Sydney street? Did I not check the news today? Is the militia out or something? Have the people taken control of the city? Nah. I just don't think punishing myself with 55 kilograms of my dog is enough. I prefer to add some extra weight there as well. But yeah, Nick's Knocked, you got about a couple of minutes to let me know if you're going to stick around. Because if you are, I will stick around with you for a little bit longer, bro. And we'll chat and we'll talk about anything that you really want to for Inter, man. Forza Charlie. Here comes Arteta's light bulb. A hard-fought point to be proud of, guys. Yeah, right. Maybe in Loserville. You guys won this morning, yeah? Because you don't support Arsenal. You support Liverpool, right? Barnsley. I should have known something. Like last night, the betting app was telling me to bet Barnsley. It was like, oh, we're offering you a power hit. $40 for Barnsley to win against Liverpool. I go, surely Liverpool aren't that bad. I'm not going to bite that. I know a Kevlar vest is, bro. You can't fool me. Yeah, man. I ordered, yeah. So I made the warehouse that I ordered it from, put the label on the front, weighted vest. Sandbags. Yeah, 100%, bro. Inter just what can I say, bro? Napoli. Scott McTominay got me in a mood yesterday where I just had to show the general public that I wasn't there to fool around. All right, guys. Nick's Knox is going to stick around. So if that's the case, give me about 60 to 90 seconds and I will be right back. Like, I literally will be right back. Do I not have any sort of banner that says be right back? Surely I do. I do. All right, brilliant. Big up everybody that's going to stick around. Big up for Nick Knox as well. Just showing that love back to some of my loyal day one subscribers and my channel members as well. And Nick Knox just has that bad habit, that bad selfish habit. He's such a selfish dude, man, coming in late in my streams. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's get to it. Arteta's light bulb says once again, my lone club Barca won the Super Cup. Last night and got Xabi Alonso sacked. So you're not even going to admit that you go for Liverpool? I know you do, bro. I know you do. My lone club Barca won the Super Cup. But I did watch that. You want to know why, man? Because I was so close to winning a mozza, an absolute mozza on that game. After we scored to make it 2-1, I knew we'd concede. Probably should have put money on it, bro. It's a shameful act, bro. It's a shameful act. Like, I don't enjoy it. I feel dirty. This must be what prostitution feels like. I tell my wife this. She thinks I'm stupid. I see the look in my wife's face when I win this money as well. She's happy. She's happy. When she sees me doing stuff like that, I know that she's secretly deep down wants Inter to concede. She won't admit it. I've called her out on it like once or twice, and she has this cheeky little smirk on her face. I know that she knows when I get my phone out and start playing around with it and Inter has scored, she knows there's a possibility that we're paying our bills for free here. There's a possibility that I'm about to get taken out for yet another unnecessary meal out where we should be eating at home, because for somehow, some way, my husband's mood is going to completely plummet. It's going to go down to the bottom, but we're gonna have more money somehow. Anyway, she thinks it's weird, but also, I can see it in her eyes, secretly hoping for it. Why isn't Real Madrid trusting the process? I thought it's a joke. Yeah. Oi! Like I said, I'm off social media, so I'm back in the Stone Age where if I want to get football news, I have to get out and open an app. Like one football. I have to type in ESPN.com. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Let's just go. Xabi Alonso. Sacked, cuz. Sacked, brother. You've got to be kidding me, bro. This world is unforgiving. This world is an unforgiving place. Xabi Alonso. Like, how many points? 7 months. Arbiola replaced him. The thing about Real Madrid is you have to win. He's 4 points, only 4 points off the top. He's only 4 points off the top. How are you sacking him already? How are you sacking this guy already? Xabi Alonso sacked by Real Madrid less than 24 hours after losing the Spanish Super Cup. The 44-year-old, that'll really taint his ego, man. He made 236 appearances for Los Blancos as a player, left by mutual agreement. So Alvaro Arbeloa has come in. That is ridiculous. What a buzz for Arbeloa. Because if I'm not mistaken, like he's a Real Madrid youth. He's a Real Madrid academy player. But he didn't get his break for them until 2009, 2010, around about when I left high school. I forget, like he enjoyed majority of his fame, I guess, would have been at Liverpool, because then after that he enjoyed the peak at Barcelona. But a big buzz for him. He'll take over by default being the youth coach. That's crazy, man. The most unforgiving industry on the planet. I fucking hate Barcelona so much, man. Where's it Caleb S because of the yeah, bro. Like, I just can't believe it so quickly. And like a lot of Mbappe fires yet again another manager. Well said. Well said. Mbappe fires yet again another manager. Mbappe is the highest scorer in the league, but 18 goals for him. I just think it's ridiculous how, like, at only minus 4 points from the top. Yeah, they've lost the Super Cup, but you can lose the Super Cup. You can lose the Super Cup to Barcelona. It's not like it's impossible. I guess at Real Madrid, there's just no room for losses, no room for failure. This market has been one of the most chilled markets, especially from an expectations point of view. None of us expected anything. So when you don't expect anything, it becomes a lot easier, doesn't it? I think it does. I think it becomes a lot easier. Basically, there's not even rumors. I'm looking up for some rumors now. Nothing. Cancelo was probably the biggest one. I know we've been linked with Milenkovic from Nottingham Forest. I mean, I would have taken him straight from Fiorentina, but these are just overall links with clubs, not necessarily a link for the winter mercato specifically. I mean, I think we all know who our main targets would be. We haven't spoken much about it lately because there's not much to speak about. We know we haven't got 35, 40 million to move for a Kone. And I agree, Messi. I agree. We need to make some moves. But Inter don't do that, bro. Inter don't do that. The last time we were really proactive in January was under Suning. And, it seems like a world of time ago where we had 22.5 million to splash on Christian Eriksen in a January, man. But, for me, it's all about strengthening that right-hand side as soon as possible because it is a near definite that Denzel Dumfries is leaving at the end of the season. He won't be available until March anyway. Granted, we can stay in a Scudetto race until then and maintain a small lead at the top. Having Dumfries back in March would feel like the biggest thing ever. And yeah, we'll see. I think it's sad to say this, but I think a big reason why I'm not excited about signing anybody or even rumors is that I'm actually very much at a point where I'm focused on players leaving. I'm very much focused on players leaving, and it's occupying the majority of the transfer part of my thought process. I can't get my head around who we would sign until I see some players who I really don't want to be around anymore gone. Next to the Knox. How did I feel about the Cancelo deal falling through? To be honest, didn't really fall through since he was waiting. Yeah, bro, no one was really excited about it. My initial thoughts were no. My reaction on this channel was no, thank you. We don't want Cancelo. Then I did a reaction saying about how the financial side of things might make sense for us in the Dumfries situation. But at the same time, I know for a fact that he would have preferred us over Juve, but he would never have preferred us over Barcelona. And so that's just to be expected. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with João Cancelo, who has been given from his club, Al Hilal, to say things like, I'm allowed to go on loan. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. He's allowed to do whatever. And that's never stopped him before. The guy's he's not a nice guy. Not a nice guy. We wouldn't be signing him for his character or his personality. We'd be signing him purely for physical output. But at the same time, good luck to him. I hope he fails miserably at Barcelona. I want most of these players gone, especially due to contract situations as well. That's a good shout as well, man. That's a good shout as well. Nick Knox, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to get going, man. I said I'd stick around for a tiny bit longer, but that's actually the best I can do. You want to know why? Because I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing, and I need to get to the gym. I want to put in a serious session where I struggle to make it down the stairs back to my car. Because if not, what was it all for? If you're not putting in 101% as a bare minimum, that should be your benchmark. 101%. Because if you put in 100%, you should be sitting there going, could have I put in 101%? If you put in 101%, then you can go home. Anything less than 101%, you need to start questioning. Yeah, nice, bro. Absolutely get it done. And thank you to everybody that made this stream a very, very enjoyable one. I'll try and keep an eye on the time a little bit, man. I feel like I start these at the time that you get off work. So if I could dial these back in my holidays by about an hour or two, then we might be in better business. I'll actually push it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all I can do is try. Anyway, that's it. Forza Inter worldwide. I'll see you for the next one. Ciao, gang. Laters.